well, I guess class is in session. So there were a number of videos that came out Doctor Who related very, very recently. There was sort of a behind the scenes look with a couple of glimpses of the Christmas special. Didn't feel there was enough there for me to really weigh in on. The title has me intrigued though. And we also got two things, a teaser and then a proper trailer for the new Doctor Who spin-off that's coming out called Class, which is set at the school that the Doctor, we've already seen him at. He was the caretaker at briefly, and the one that Clara worked at. Which, of course, if you know your Doctor Who history, also ties back into where Susan, his granddaughter, was a student way back in the very first episode of Doctor Who back in the 60s. Now, between the two of them, the teaser did not do that much for me. The teaser came out first, and it started with voiceover from the Doctor, gave us a few glimpses of things, and I'm like, oh, okay. It didn't do all that much to intrigue me, but then a couple hours later, the full trailer dropped, and I saw that and went, okay, now I'm interested. I like, first of all, that in the proper trailer, they put the Doctor at the end of it. Because, I mean, let's be honest, if he appears in this at all, it's gonna be like his appearances in something like the Sarah Jane Chronicles. It's gonna be sporadic. It's gonna be every now and then. For my money in this, he shows up at the beginning to set it up. Maybe in the season finale, we'll see what we get. But the trailer puts the focus much more on these students, these teachers, what they're dealing with, and looks kind of cool. I like that there appear to be some teachers involved and some older people as well as some students. I think that's a nice mix because I think the just sort of only the young people, they have to hide it from the adults. That is a setup that gets old really quick and is really kind of played out at this point. We got the glimpse of these things. They refer to them as the shadows. Now, for my money, that's what they deal with in the very first episode. It's possible that that'll be a sort of series-long threat. I don't know. We'll see. But as I say, I really like the way they snuck the Doctor in there at the end, and I love the point of reference that they make in terms of, you know, these tears in space and time that are there and are obviously going to be the source of all the problems. They compare it to the Hellmouth and Buffy. They compare it to the Vampire Diaries and even kind of point out that that's an odd comparison for you to make. But I like that, not only because do I think it's sort of reaching out to the same sort of audiences and throwing them a bone and saying, hey, if you like that, maybe you'll like this. So it's kind of a clever marketing thing. But even beyond that, I like that this exists in a world where there is fiction about the sorts of things that Doctor Who deals with, and people can latch on to fiction as a point of reference for dealing with these concepts. Because way too often, not so much in Doctor Who specifically, but it seems whenever you get a lot of really mind-bendy, time travel-y sort of plots, somebody who understands it is always going, I can't possibly make you comprehend. But I love that in this, they just toss out a really easy to grasp on pop culture reference. Oh, so it's basically that. Cool, I like that. That's cool, that's fun. And it's an easy way to hook into the thing. Now that said, even though I really like pretty much everything about this trailer, there's nothing I didn't like, I'm still going in with quite a bit of caution because my feeling about Doctor Who spin-offs at this point is kind of mixed. When it comes to the Sarah Jane adventures, I think they were very good for what they were. What they were wasn't really for me, though. They were for younger kids. And again, it did what it was trying to do very well. I just, you know, I watched the episodes just so I could say that I watched them, but I'll never go back and ever see them again. Torchwood has about a dozen really good episodes, but I think as a whole, it didn't work. It didn't succeed at what it was trying to do, really. It wasn't particularly captivating. It didn't know how to pace itself properly. So because of that history, I am cautious about this. But again, if I take just the trailer by itself, this could be pretty good. So we'll see what we get. I think it's probably unlikely that I will do any sort of episode by episode things on this. I may not even get to it for a little while, but I will, when I can find time, be checking this thing out when I can. So have you guys seen the trailer for Class? What do you think about it? I will say this, the name, really generic, doesn't really grab you. But aside from that, what were your thoughts on this trailer? What are your thoughts about the project or the idea of Doctor Who spin-offs in general? Whatever they are, drop something down in the comments and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check me out on Twitter at Council of Geeks. Check out the Council of Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. And until next time, this council is adjourned.